Well, let's get some viewpoints on this sugar campaign. I'm joined from central London by Barbara Young, the Chief Executive of Diabetes UK, and the dietitian Dr. Sarah Schenker. Very good evening to you both. Barbara Young, if I can start with you.
I'm very much welcome the campaign, but want to see it as part of a wider approach to people understanding what a balanced diet looks like.
Dr. Schenker, just let's have a look at sugar for the moment. We take the point about the need for balanced reduction, but how seriously damaging can it be?
Well, I think we have to accept that we are a nation with a sweet tooth, and we get used to having a lot of sugar in our diets, and then we almost become immune to it. So I think this is a good campaign in terms of helping people to gently reduce their sugar consumption and wean them off the amount of sugar that they have in their diet. Ultimately, too much sugar and too much of any excessive nutrient like salt, saturated fat, sugar, combining it all together can be very damaging to health. So taken in the context of the other things that we know that we should be doing, this is a really important sort of prong to get right, if you like, that we need to reduce sugar in the context of being healthy overall. And you know, this just really brings attention brings it to people's minds that they really have to think about the amount of sugar they're getting from foods that they might not necessarily associate with sweetness.
Barbara Young, do you see direct links between sugar and obesity and, in the end, what you're specifically concerned with, diabetes?
It gives the public the idea that if they reduce the amount of sugar they eat, that they're home and dry, they've got other things they've got to do.
Take your point, but Sarah Schenker, I mean, one of the things that seemed to come out of our report there is that most people really don't have much of a clue how much sugar is in processed food and drink. You know, reading the label, there's a lot of misleading words that, if you know what you're looking for, end in OSE, that mean it's related to sugar, but most people don't have a clue about it.
And I think that's right. Sugar is a kind of almost an umbrella term for many different types of sugars, and we need to be able to distinguish between what's added and what's intrinsically there. So for instance, in a piece of fruit, you'll get fructose, which is there in the fruit naturally. The same in dairy products, you get the sugar lactose, which is part of dairy products. So we need to be able to understand labels. Some people have proposed, for instance, that when you get a sugary food, it actually tells you how many teaspoons of sugar is in that product, so the equivalent amount of teaspoons or sugar cubes as your little VT shows. So that could be helpful. But one of the most easy ways of looking for sugar in food is just to scan the ingredients list, and if it comes in the first 5 names, then you know that it's going to be fairly high in sugar. If it comes much lower down, then it may just be added for some kind of preservative effect or some kind of food function rather than for actual sweetness.
Sarah Schenker, as we head into a new year, carrying the weight of Christmas over with us, a quick tip for people about the most sensible way forward with diet?
I would say try not to snack between meals, stick to any resolution you have to be more active, and then let the rest kind of shape itself. If you can do those things and have 3 meals rather than lots of snacks, you're on your way to eating more healthily, because you tend to eat better food as part of sort of balanced meals rather than the snack food in between.
Dr. Sarah Schenker and Barbara Young, thank you both for your thoughts and your advice. Good to talk to you both.